two, one.
Oh, yeah. We just got a double dose, you know. What's up? Happy springtime. Good day to you guys. This is Talent Talk. This is your team here from the John O. Scott Talent Group coming to you live on this amazing day in Washington and Arizona, right? We got the buddy down here in the sunshine. So let me introduce. So basically, what we do here is we talk about things that are going on in our marketplace. Education, information, fun is what we are about. And today we are going to talk about seasonal advantages and disadvantages of selling your home. So we're going to get into some nitty gritty and some fun conversation here and some educated walk away better than we came in today. So let's introduce our group. So I'm Davina, and to my whatever direction that is, linear wise is Steve, and we've got Jurgen, and then we have an amazing guest host with us today, Sarina Hoffman, and she is one of our amazing professionals on our John O. Scott talent team. And so we're going to be hearing from her today as we have some great discussion. So you guys ready for this?
Absolutely. And a good morning to Donna and a hey y'all to Nikki. And I think she said it like that too. Hey y'all.
You got to say with the accent.
I know.
I don't know why.
Sarina, you usually are on there commenting. So we're going to miss you can comment. Are you you can comment while you're
commenting and to be live at the same time. Multitasking.
Right.
Yes.
Multitasker.
And
hey,
good
Jennifer.
morning to Jen.
What is up? So before we start off today, we want to get you guys engaged, right? So we got a couple questions. So there is a trivia question that we're gonna ask about. But when we're talking about home ownership, what's our trivia question today?
What percent of Americans own a home?
That's a good question.
Okay. Multiple choice. Is it
43? Oh, go ahead.
43.7%, 64.8, 72.1, or 99.9?
Okay. Well, I know what answer it's not.
I know, right?
Which one of these?
I don't know the answer to this one, but this one's a really good one because when you factor in like the struggle to find housing right now and the shortage, it's like, I don't know. This is a good one.
Yeah. Penny had the first guess of B. Donna right behind with another B. And I'm positive that, and Janie is actually chiming in with a B as well. We got the crazy B's going on this morning.
Bees are ahead. So 60. So I was going to say not enough, but okay, Jen. B. Okay. We're going to get to that answer here in a little bit. And what we're talking about today is the seasonal advantages or disadvantages of selling your home. And we talk about seasons. So there are 4 seasons, right? Winter, spring, summer, fall. And there's real estate seasons that kind of fall within those timelines, and we have charts and graphs that we can share with you guys as well. But when we talk about seasons, what comes to mind? So regarding, I can tell you if we're going to talk about seasons, I can tell you what my favorite season is for doing absolutely anything. You want to guess?
Summer.
Yeah.
Summer.
Yeah. Summer. Fall. So you're a fall person, Sarina. I'm a summer person.
Spring.
I'm fall, then spring.
Okay. All right. So when it comes to our favorite seasons, and we'll also ask you guys out there too, I don't know, just piggybacking on 2 things, like what's your favorite season and why? But as we get into this, let's actually have a little bit of conversation, and we can go back to what our favorite season is and why. But so let's start this. So what's the first season that we're kind of looking at? We have a chart, right? That we typically go by, and it's our our yearly housing cycle is what we talk about when it goes into season. So, Sarina, let's start off this conversation in regards to we get this question all the time. When is the best time to sell my home? Right? So what do we say to our clients when they ask that question? Or what do you say to your clients? Not we, but what do you say to your clients?
Right now. Right now. Someone asked me today, when is the best time? Right now is the best time. If you're thinking about it and you're on the fence about doing it, do it. Right now is the best time. We can't predict what's going to happen in the future with the market, especially with rising interest rates right now. We don't know how long buyers, are going to end up getting dropped out of the game. So right now is the best time to sell if you're thinking about it.
And what's going on right now? What is going on right now?
There's not enough inventory right now. So we have a lot of buyers, not enough inventory, which is creating this market is a seller's market right now. With there just not being enough buyers or not being enough sellers listings on the market. So we need houses. So sell your house.
Yeah, right. So, and right now, so we're in the selling season. Right now we're in April and spring has sprung, and Penny just said,
go ahead, start the process in April, but May through July to sell. Actually kind of lines up in some of the prospecting ways, but I would also agree with Sarina. It's when the time is right for the individual. I mean, there's so many things beyond just the season itself, but what's going on for each individual potential seller, because oftentimes, more often than not, you have to purchase as well. So you're kind of same market pricing.
Right. And we're looking at right now, we're in the spring, we're just springing into the spring selling market, right? So weather's changing, hopefully for the better here soon, right?
We're in fall spring right now.
Yeah.
What did you
LinkedIn.
say? Yeah, right. Good morning.
We're in the 12th spring.
The 12th spring?
Fall.
Yes. So we're in the spring selling market right now. And typically what happens during spring. So let's talk about some advantages and disadvantages to selling in spring. So
well, hey, Davina, just before you do that, do we have the graphic for the 6 phases? Because you were talking about the way the market goes and having the 6 phases, and we've got a great chart that lines up those phases. What are those?
Yeah, go ahead. Take us through those.
Oh, well, you started in on it that the first phase of the year is the New Year kickoff. We see some activity. We see it rise in phase 2, which is the spring market. It starts peaking out in 3, which is the pre-summer, May, June timeline, and kind of crests in there and carries through into the summer, which is number 4, the summer market. And then following or going right along with the name, number 5, the fall market, as it starts to come down. And typically the lowest part of the new listings, and these are the new listings that come on the market typically, is the winter market. And what you're seeing in front of you with those lines is a 5-year span. You can see each year there's a pretty consistent cycle of what happens inside of the market. So even though every year is a little bit different, we can kind of count on how the market itself is going to cycle. And then we can plan accordingly or advise accordingly to how those cycles go.
Absolutely. And right now we're in the middle of our spring market cycle. Yep, where things are going up. So what is it that people are doing? What happens in spring? What is some of the seller mentality in regards to waiting till spring? Because we hear that a lot. I'm going to wait until spring. We talk about spring cleaning. I'm going to wait till spring to get my home on the market. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages that you guys can think of that come with getting on the market in the spring? I
think people just have more opportunity to get their homes ready with the nicer weather. Like getting market ready for that. Getting all the projects around the house that you've been wanting to do all year, getting them done so you can get the most for your house that you're trying to.
Yeah. So we talk about the decluttering and the weather is turning. So spring cleaning happens, and so it's a great time. If you're doing the spring cleaning, you're actually doing the same thing to get your home market ready day one, right? And then also one of the things that's happening during springtime that could be, in typical markets, we look at a disadvantage is that for sellers is everyone thinking about the same thing, right? So literally, if all the sellers are thinking about getting their home on the market, then there might be more competition as a seller if you're getting your home on the market during the springtime. But we see we're in this market, we're in a shortage of inventory. So you might have a few more listings that are coming on during the time, but then also those listings are getting absorbed really fast because of the amount of buyers that are waiting for homes that hadn't been in our inventory prior. So, that could be a disadvantage, is that you have extra competition during the spring month, but because we are really low in the inventory, you may not really see that effect as much. But
Yeah.
maybe your neighbor down the corner might list the house at the same time you're coming on the market too.
Yeah, and got a couple comments too from a couple agents, which Janie, kids getting out of school and better timing is we are talking about spring specifically into summer. And then Dawn, curb appeal and spring colors popping, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that you were mentioning was the spring and how right now is when we start to see more inventory come on the market. But what we also know is there's just such a big buyer demand. So if we're talking about spring specifically as being a good time, what's great about spring to put your home on the market? Less competition, but the buyer demand, especially from this past year, is so incredibly high, and it has maintained being really high because we've been at such a deficit of listings that, hey, right now is a phenomenal time to get ahead of the curve because we know we're going to start seeing more listings. Are we going to continue to run as steep a deficit compared to years past? Kind of feels like it, but now is a great time to be able to more spotlight your home before more homes come on the market.
Absolutely. And then as
Yes.
we go into let's kind of scroll into as we shift. So there's some people that are okay, it's springtime, but I'm not going to be ready until summer, right? Because that's when kids are going to be out of school. That's when we actually, want to move. We actually would like to close like right mid to late summer so that we can actually, get into our new place and have the kids settled and our family settled by fall. We hear that quite often. And that we're talking about into the pre-summer, into the summer months. So what are some of the advantages of the summer time instead of maybe the springtime? Steve, we haven't heard from you yet. So I want to put my home on the market, but it's summer. Like I want to do it summertime. What would be great about summer?
Great time. We're at the peak of the market. There's a lot of, and in this time right now, I meant homes will be selling. We're still looking at the low inventory. The kids are out of school. So there's going to be a lot of buyers out right now who are looking. They saved up that tax return that they've got. And now that the kids are out, the buyers are out in full force, ready to make a move, ready to make that decision. So summer market's a great month. I mean, that's when we're at the peak of the market for us, and homes are selling, buyers are out looking. It's a great time. It's just a lot of people out. People are moving when kids are out. Yeah. And that just kind of leads into that trend that we see every year. And when that peak happens right at that summertime, it's sellers are getting their home ready for the market during that pre-spring. But now that once their homes are on the market, kids are out of school, parents are ready to make that move. It's a good time to make the move. That's probably one of the big advantages of coming on right in that summer selling session.
It becomes the family day. Let's go look at a house, kids.
I think people are, and I say I think people because this is kind of me, is I'm happier during summertime. So usually people are in a good mood, because, maybe they're on vacation and, there's not as much of a schedule to maybe adhere to. So, it's a great time to actually go and look at open houses. So you get more people in through into the weekends. A lot of people more traveling from out of the area, so you're going to get even potentially more out of state
The amount of daylight.
exposure. Yeah. What was that, Jurgen?
So,
Daylight.
mhm.
We've got those long days that it definitely maximize the time, and then things are in full bloom, right? So we get into, it's beautiful outside, the sun is shining, the skies are blue, and people are typically generally feel good during the summer months. That's
Longer
right.
longer
Longer
days
days,
equal
easier
easier
showing.
showings.
Absolutely. What are some disadvantages? Can we think of any disadvantages for the summer?
Sure. The amount of homes that you just have more competition when you get into the summertime. It is because you have longer days and potentially also more showings, more buyers are out. As a seller, sometimes it can be a little more inconvenient coordinating showings. If you don't strategize, maybe doing open houses are fantastic for putting your home up because it also helps control the showing times. But sometimes when you put your home on the market, man, you got to find a lot of things to do to be able to allow those showings.
Yeah. One of the things I used to talk about in the conversation I had with sellers is like strategic selling and when to come on the market. When is a good time to come on the market? And kind of what Jurgen was talking to, it's like during the summer months, the peak months, as a homeowner, there's a lot more competition, meaning buyers have a lot more choices to choose from. But if you kind of waited to some of, let's say, that winter months, or that, when it tails off at the end of the year and you put your home on at the end of the year, there's less competition, which could potentially shorten some of the time frame for you to sell your home in maybe different markets, maybe in a more balanced market. But sometimes it also helps you get a better price. So that's part of having like a professional real estate broker when you're looking at selling your house, is being able to analyze the market and going into that and help you put together a game plan or strategy.
Steve, when you mentioned that, there's one thing that popped up that is almost, it's going to come up in just a moment because we're going to talk about the fall as well. And what are some advantages of listing your home in the fall as opposed to maybe the spring, summer, or winter markets? Can almost be a disadvantage in the summer sometimes because we see the most appreciation on a home typically during the summertime. Like a vast majority of the appreciation that occurs in a home's value happens during the summer as you have bids, offers that are raising the prices. But because of that, they don't have the historical data. Appraisals can be a little bit tougher in the summer months because the prices are raising, but the appraisers don't have the information to support some of the values that you might see during the summer. Where if when we get to fall, that starts to come around and make it a little bit better to support those because they start to have the closings that support the values.
Yeah. I think, and as we've gotten into fall, um, I think one of the things that is an advantage is for those people that are really crafty and, you know, the warmth of the fall. And of course, the weather's cold, so things are nice and cozy, and the decor, the warm fall decor starts to come into play. And if you are a decorator, I think that homes can actually show really nicely in the fall months when it's really cold outside and you step into this nice warm home and the fire's going and you've got the scent of fall in the air. And so I think that can really be an advantage too when you're starting to hone in on the senses and all the elements of the warmth of a home. So that's my 2 cents on fall.
I
Serena, you
agree.
said you like fall.
I do. I love fall. I love the cool, crisp air. and the scent of like an apple candle. I just love the smells of fall. They're my fave.
It's pumpkin spice time, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
Starbucks gets the pumpkin spice lattes, right?
I don't think I've ever had a pumpkin spice latte, actually. I'm not a huge pumpkin flavor fan. So I know I'm probably going to get a bunch of flack for that.
No, it's okay. So, Jennifer, agreed. Fall is my favorite season. Yes. So it is fall. When they talk about fall is in the air, right? That's a thing. So
For me, fall is on the ground.
yeah, so well, here's another thing when you talk about that. One of the disadvantages is all of the leaves you have to pick up from your yard in the fall. And keeping the curb appeal up, so right?
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned that even through the seasons, if we're talking about the seasons of the year, spring is a phenomenal time to get pictures, to advertise as things are blooming or blossoming. Summer with the beautiful backdrop and the weather, but yeah, you have to do sometimes for those photos that rake the leaves and kind of clean things up a little bit more. And then winter, find those spring pictures.
You can do that. You can add, this is what it looks like in the springtime, So, but also as we get into the fall selling season, we look at there is, for buyers, like there's an urgency, especially in the early fall, to hurry up and get into a home and get closed before the holidays come, right? Because they know during, November's coming, and they want to have their Thanksgiving and their Christmas, and they want to make sure that they get in. So because of that, they want to get those offers accepted prior to the holiday season. So fall, actually, a lot of buyers are out looking, trying to get solidified homes because of the fact that they want to get settled in before the winter.
Yeah. We're talking about like the advantages and disadvantages of selling in this marketplace. And one of the things I'm even thinking about right now, and I've had this question quite a bit with brokers and buyers when we talk about the market, is also even like maybe just the financial market and what's going on here in regards to interest rates in buying now. That's a conversation that we're having with a lot of sellers and buyers. It's like, is it now a good time to buy? Because maybe we're looking at interest rates going up. What does that mean for affordability in the next year, next several months? And how does that kind of tie in with the appreciation rate of homes, with the competitiveness? So we're also looking at that season of selling and getting that all tied in. So
yeah, Steve, you mentioned that, and that's definitely a consideration. It may not tie directly into the seasonals, but for what's happening right now, what's going on with interest rate, inflation, all those things really do matter. And sometimes we end up applying that just to the buyer scenarios, but without remembering that probably about close to 2/3 of the people who are going to purchase a home probably have to sell a home as well. So it's absolutely integral to their equation as well. Because if you do sell, where are you going to live?
Right. And that brings us to our trivia question as well. You talked about people that own a home are going to have to sell. And our trivia question, just to pop back up real quick, is what percent of Americans own a home? And it is a multiple choice. And A, 43.7, B, 64.8, C, 72.1, or 99.9%. And like we said before, we know what the answer is not. But we've had a lot of B's that chimed in. We've had all B's actually that have chimed in. So get that. Are we ready to answer that question now?
Well, we have one last season to get to, though, don't we?
Yes, actually, winter.
Yes, and a couple quick little Sabrina was 64.9, which I believe was C, and then Pat was chiming in with C. So now we got some C's and B's. We've got some passing and average grades right there. So we'll see what happens.
Any A's in the
Oh no, they're
house?
all B's in one C. Okay.
No.
I'm going to go with C, just to be the outlier there. Just plus, that's my favorite number, 72. So okay.
Nice.
Because it was the year you were born, right? Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use 72 in every password I guess on your in your accounts from now on.
Unfortunately, you're halfway there.
Say Big Daddy Steve 72. There you go.
Oh, my God. You guys already know.
All right,
Hey,
so
but we're talking about the fall month, right?
winter.
No, just moving into winter.
Oh, winter months. That's what I meant. So
Actually, and Steve, you mentioned interest rates, and I think you're onto something there. When I think there is a little bit of a correlation when we talk about winter, because one of the things is the new year, and sometimes interest rates might change as the new year happens, and there's conversation about that as well. Like, okay, we're going into the new year, where interest rates going to be? So sometimes there could be a push in the winter months actually because people want to get in. So here we go. Taxes, right? So they want to get their homes. Maybe you want to get your home sold this year because of tax reasons. Or when I say this year, we're talking this season because of tax reasons, maybe before it's the beginning of the year, or as you go into winter and it is January. It's like some sellers say, okay, it's going to be a new year, new me, new everything. Let's get our home on the market and let's start thinking about our new plan for the new year. So it could be a good time for you to get your home on the market because people are actually making new plans. They're making New Year's resolutions. They are wanting to just get things going. So, in regards to that, there's also typically during the winter months, there's lower inventory because people are kind of saying, oh, we're going to go on vacation or we're going to have people over. So if you are, wanting to put your home on the market, you might not have as much competition because people are kind of scaling back and saying I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go on vacation during these months.
And David, here's one thing. Just a couple comments real quick. First was Sabrina. Steve is only 21 years old. And Steve, that means there's a fan out there that believes that you found the fountain of youth. So congratulations.
Yeah.
And we said great discussion for sure. Dawn actually had a quick comment. If that's part of your password, her husband's in cybersecurity. No, you need to change it now, Steve. And then Sabrina, Christmas is best day to go house hunting, and I'm actually going to say something on that because that's very true. And huge Steve fan, awesome. With one of the things I think is great in the wintertime is the fact that you do have less buyers, you do have less activity, but the people who are actually out house hunting in the wintertime, they're really serious. As it starts to get into spring, things loosen up, and especially in the summer with so much activity, you get a lot of, not dismissively, but you get a lot of people that are more looky-loos. They're interested, but they're not necessarily committed to buying a home. They're feeling out the process. In the wintertime, the people who are looking in the wintertime are typically not only very serious, but they're typically more qualified. They've kind of gone through the rigmarole. They've been in the summer and spring season or in through the fall. And a lot of times they got very disappointed or it was very hard. The people who are actually looking in the winter typically are very serious and also really qualified.
Yeah.
And Steve fan page, excellent. And Donna, we house hunted in the winter and got a perfect home. Yeah, found exactly what we were looking for. Competition was lower and we were really well set. A great time.
Yeah. And the smells of Christmas. So if you are hunting and the Christmas, summer and Christmas, like people are happy typically, right? So having that decor and putting up the Christmas tree and the lights and the warmth of your home could actually show really well during the holiday season as well.
Yeah, lots of advantages of coming on. in that
I've been in some beautifully decorated homes, holiday decorated homes during showings during Christmas. You walk in,
Yep.
there's Christmas music playing. You're like, oh, it's
Right.
gorgeous.
And when you're looking, a lot of times they'll leave presents under the tree for you. So it's
cookies in the cabinet.
right.
They open the fridge for
Cookies
you.
and milk, they'll leave
I mean,
it out.
wow, they left a showing gift.
Yeah. So, I mean, as we wrap around all of the seasons, and we've got the actual cycle chart that we shared a little bit earlier, the question is really, when is the best time to sell your home? And Sarina, you started it out, and the best time is really now, or it depends on what your goals are, for your personal situation. So definitely reach out to a real estate professional. If you even think you might even sell your home during the year, it's never too early. And Pat, holidays throughout, go ahead.
Yeah, holidays throughout the year are a great time to market a home, as there are serious buyers and out-of-town guests are in town. So that out-of-town guest, aren't you excited to show people where you might be and also get their input and help you make that decision?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's answer our trivia question now.
All right, we got a lot of answers on this one, guys. The majority seems to be B. But if you're just tuning in, the trivia question we had is, what percent of Americans own their own home? Multiple choice, we have A, which was 43.7, B at 64.8, C at 72.1, D at 99.9. We know which one it isn't.
Which one was that?
That would be the no, it's 99.9.
Oh, wow.
Amazing if it was. So
Where's the buyers at, right? Okay, so what's the answer?
Drum roll, it is B.
B.
The bees have it.
The bees have it.
So mostly everyone was right on the nose. 64.8% of people are homeowners. That means we've got some work to do, you guys.
Yes.
Like there are 35.4%. Am I right there? Am I doing the math right? Of Americans do not own a home.
All right.
Yeah, but you know what? That's healthy, I think, because you do have people who are renting. You have different phases in life. There are times when rental may make sense for some people. Sometimes it's just curing what has occurred in personal lives. Sometimes people have had challenges and aren't qualified. And when we got up to that point where we were just focused at the time when we had a housing crash, part of what led to that housing crash is we just had a focus only on raising home ownership, which means we relaxed all the guidelines to actually being able to get mortgages or how we were qualified to even purchase a home.
Yeah.
That really led to a lot of tough times. So, 64, that probably sounds like a good, healthy number, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And well, it is the majority, right?
Yeah.
So that is good, but there's always work to do.
Yep.
Oh, definitely always work to do. And those homeowners actually can also own investment properties as well. So, homeownership is amazing. And that's why we're here. So, now, before we close out, there are a couple things that we want to do, and we're talking about activities and events. And there was an event that happened just this past.
Oh, hey, Davian, just before you do that, is it okay to say, hey, one of the things we talked about earlier this month was this is Fair Housing Month, and then one of the other things I wanted to say was it's also Autism Awareness Month. There are a lot of children or even adults that have different levels of autism. We even have a child, and they're fantastic. They definitely give you a lot of perspective. It is one of the fastest growing developmental disorders, but also one of the most underfunded. So just 1 out of 44 children are actually affected with some level of autism. So during the month, hadn't mentioned anything earlier, but definitely keep it out there. And if there's a way for you to participate or contribute consider it. It's a fantastic thing.
That's good. Thanks for that, Jurgen, for that plug.
Thanks,
So
Jurgen.
yes, so Fair Housing Month, and it is Autism Awareness Month as well. Sarina. You're out at an event. I was thinking about Christy because she's always out there with us too. So, Sarina, you're out at an event this past week, the Yelm Easter Fest. This weekend is Easter Sunday. Today is Good Friday, and it's always a Good Friday, but it is Good Friday, and Sunday is Easter, and so there was an event that you guys hosted, and there also is a prize that we're going to be announcing. Talk to us about what went on and what we're doing.
Yeah, last weekend we had the Yelm Easter Fest at Yelm City Park. They did egg hunt by category. There were a ton of kids and families that showed up. It was a really great event. It was put on by Hockaday Productions, a local Yelm resident here that is very into doing all the events, and she's so wonderful. We partnered with Academy Mortgage, and Darcy was out there with me, and we were meeting everyone in the community. We did a couple raffles and gave kids lots of little prizes and candies. We had the little fish bowls with the ping pong balls. You can throw the ping pong ball in the fish bowls, and we had some cornhole for the kids to play while everyone was waiting for the egg hunts to start. And it was a really good time. It was a great event.
Awesome. And so there is a raffle. There was a raffle that you guys did, or there is a gift that we're going to be giving out. So what is it that we are announcing today?
It's on the video, I think.
All right.
The video that Darcy and I did was we raffled off $100 gas card, because who doesn't need $100 in gas right now?
So who needs a gallon of gas?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Darcy
accurate.
was making a joke saying you could fill up your Prius with the $100 gas card.
Are we going to go to the video?
I'm here with Sarina Hoffman from John L. Scott. Yay! We did the Yelm Easter Fest this weekend, which was super fun. So great to see so many of your faces and to see your kiddos, especially. The Outpost Church did the Easter egg hunt, and it was super duper cute. Thank you, LaDonna, for having us from Lady L Productions. Thank you so much for the invite to be there at the Yelm Easter Fest. So we did a super fun $100 gas gift card in partnership between Academy Mortgage, woohoo, and John L. Scott. Woo. And so, woohoo! And so we're going to draw the name, and we're super duper excited. So, okay, do you want to do the honors, Sarina? Sarina's going to bring over the bowl, show you all them drawings. We had a ton.
So many.
Mm-hmm. So many.
Okay.
It's going to be the lucky one. Okay, let's go with that one. Okay. All right, Nancy Holder. Woohoo! Nancy Holder, congratulations.
Congrats, Nancy.
We're so happy for you.
And good thing you showed the slip too. I mean, you had to make sure it was legit.
Any confusion, yeah. We
All
called
right,
Nancy. She
Nancy.
was super excited. She lived on JBLM and met her in town, and she came and picked that up, and yeah, it was really great. She was very excited.
Awesome.
Oh,
Before
and
we
Steve?
go, real quick, Steve is going to have to jump off. So
Yeah,
9
I was
o'clock
just going
Forms
to announce
Friday.
that he has a campaign manager ready to go. Sabrina is going to be your campaign manager for your 2024 presidential election. So,
Yeah. So Steve has to go. Steve, so we will see you later. I know you got to jump off for your class. So
Yep.
join him. Yep. So go to our events, click on our forms, our events page, and you can actually join in on any of our events that are going on, especially our Forms Friday, where every week we go over a specific form, and Steve leads us through that every week. So thank you, Steve.
Thanks, you guys.
all right, have fun.
All right. And now we have our Easter giveaway.
And we're going to spin the wheel. This is for it's for a prize. It's for a what? Was that 100 or was that 50?
A $50.
Okay,
gift
good.
card, yeah.
I saw two up like this, so I wasn't sure. What are we doing? Are we doing this? Are we doing this? Are we doing this or this? 50 is what it is. $50 prize up for grabs. It's a gift card. And who is going to spin? Oh, it is spinning. I
Is
can
it
hear it in the
spinning?
background.
Oh, wow. What a spin. It says Kathy Randich. All right, Kathy, you are our lucky winner for our $50 gift card. And so we'll be reaching out to you to claim that gift, and congratulations. And you guys, there's opportunities that we give out all the time in regards to joining in and getting in and entering to win. We have our Win a Trip that's going to be coming up. And so congratulations again, Kathy. We have our winter trip that's coming up, drawing.
Well,
Oh,
and
go
David,
ahead.
just before you go there, I just want to thank our studio audience for the applause when we announced the winner. That's great.
Yeah. We have our winter trip that is coming up, and that's a chance for you to win a destination trip anywhere that you want to go. It's a $4,000 credit to through our AAA travel partners. That will be announced the end of April, or chosen the end of April. So in May, we'll also announce the lucky winner for that. Anything else before we head out today?
And just Janie had to say goodbye. She's going to a diversity class, which is phenomenal.
Yes.
And Sarina, she was like, good job.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Janie.
Any closing, anything you want to say in closing, Sarina, as our gal for the day?
Appreciate you having me on, and happy Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. So again, just looking at anything, if you guys out there have any ideas, any suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. And as we go into this Easter weekend, we have a couple of words that we say that have a meaning behind them.
Before you get to that, one of the things that is different, first full year getting through Arizona and first Easter around here, what I've heard is Easter and hiding eggs in the yard and such is much, much bigger in Washington. The kids running around, not as much, at least not with all the candy in Arizona, because chocolate, guess what happens in the hot, hot sun?
It liquefies.
Yeah, instead of the chocolate eggs being on the outside, the chocolate's on the inside instead. Melted.
Oh, I was going to say, really? There's a chocolate filled egg?
Well, it's a chocolate filling when it's done.
I was like, okay.
And if you were using real eggs, that could be a real smelly egg hunt.
It could.
Oh, yeah, it could be. Yeah.
I don't know why I would, but yes, I agree with you. Especially if you forget them out there.
Yeah.
So you have to use hard candy, right? In the plastic eggs.
Yeah. Most definitely.
No chocolate.
I don't think so.
No chocolate. All right. So we're going to go out with our big Be Bold today. We appreciate you. Thank you, Sarina, for joining. And I know we were way over time, but we love everyone and thank you. And Sarina, you want to count us down on our Be Bold and before we head out today?
Sure. Is it just 3, 2, 1? Is that what we do?
Or use any numbers you want.
3, 2, 1.
Be bold.
You guys.
Happy Easter.